this is the dangerous thing, is the brainwashing. If only the brainwashing wasn't, how much easier would our jobs be if there was no brainwashing? It's the biggest thing to get through. And even when people start to realize, it's like, oh, well, I better carry on taking them because I don't want to upset my doctor. She's ever so nice.
This is actually a good thing. The brainwashing, I think the saturated fat, animal fat, cholesterol story is so obvious that once you realize that they were wrong, they knew they were wrong, and it was deliberate, you can never trust them again.
Absolutely.
Because and this same bunch are, because the doctors who've discovered this and who are now speaking out, like the cardiologists who are saying, you know, saturated fat's not bad for you, they're not the ones recommending a vegan diet. The ones recommending a vegan diet are the same criminals that recommended lowering cholesterol via statins. And so once you find them guilty, you go, you're guilty. You're incompetent, and either you're incompetent, in which case I'm going to disregard anything you say in future, or you're guilty of actually trying to harm me, in which case I might even consider a class action suit against you guys. But at the very least, you're going to ignore what they say in the future.
Yeah, so I've got to have a quick rant here about the vegan docs, right?
This could be a watershed moment for people's perception of healthcare.
Yeah,
once they get over this little hurdle, you then see it very clearly.
Yes, and when you can see it, the absolute farce now of the interviews you see. I mean, Gregor, right? There was somebody posted something, and it was there's some steroid-filled vegan bodybuilder interviewing him, and Gregor's coming out with a book of how to age well. He's 47 years old. He's 10 years younger than me. His face is covered in liver spots. He's got, his hands are practically holding the microphone. It's a Frank Tufano vid. He calls it so-and-so. I've forgotten the guy's name. Interviews the Claw. He calls Gregor the Claw. But he's holding the mic, and you can see through. It looked like my mum's hand on her deathbed when she was 95 years old. This guy's 47. He's writing a fucking book on how to age well. How can people not see through this? He should be the absolute epitome.
That's the point. It's all brainwashing.
He's got glasses that thick. Yeah. He's emaciated. He's got liver spots at 47, which you shouldn't really get until about 70, even if you're eating McDonald's, you know, and he's going plant-based, you know. And even his voice is kind of unbearable. I mean, I really got riled up about him this morning. I was looking at it and thinking, what the fuck? How can anyone watch this guy and think that there's anything? Hello. Think that, you know, there's any truth in it. And it seems to be far worse even than a standard diet. It's incredible where all this is coming from. And this is what I say to people, that all the new docs who are coming in, have you heard of a new doc coming up who suddenly goes vegan now? No. They're all figuring out the keto thing. They're all figuring out the carnivore thing. The only ones left pushing the vegan thing and the low cholesterol nonsense are just declining horrifically.
But let's pick apart what has to be, because the layers, like Graham's saying, the layers of misinformation around this idea that, okay, meat causes coronary heart disease, right? Look at the layers of this, right? So what they're saying is that meat is mostly saturated fat, which is false, right? If you watch Zoe Harcum's stuff, and we're going to have Zoe on, I can't wait for that. But Zoe says every fatty substance in nature has more unsaturated, so monounsaturated or polyunsaturated fats than saturated fat. The fat on your ribeye steak is 2/3 unsaturated fat. Okay, she says the only food group that has a higher proportion of saturated fat than unsaturated is dairy. Right, so basically breast milk. Right, so even skimmed milk has more saturated fat than unsaturated fat.
Yeah, exactly. So breast milk. So how bad is that for humans, eh?
Exactly. So the first thing is, you know, meat is full of saturated fat, which isn't true. Second thing is that saturated fat can cause high serum cholesterol, which it can't. And dietary cholesterol can't really impact your serum cholesterol either, because at least 70% of the cholesterol flowing around your body is made in your body anyway. And like Jeremy says, you need it. So there's no link whatsoever in this argument that even stands up to the most basic scrutiny.
Well, there are some people who
the whole thing is nonsense.
Carb.
The whole thing is utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense, and people should just. I mean, I don't know what I need to say to people. The cholesterol story is complete nonsense. Don't even worry about it. Throw away your cholesterol results. They are irrelevant. You would never have looked at them if they hadn't invented a drug to lower it.
And they change.
It would have been an issue that you would have been concerned about. Just don't waste any time on it. Read one of the books, watch one of the videos, pay attention for 15, 20 minutes, and then get your shit together and stop worrying about it.